Hey, it's me, unapologetically T, and I'm here. I have lots of content that I'm pushing out today, and I'll probably post it within a week's time. But I wanted to do a video on family, family. I've been purging so much stuff, and it's like almost like I don't. It's just flowing now. It used to be like when I first started this journey, it was like I was getting triggered by so many different things, and it was like I could point out like, oh, this is what I need to work on. And it was like this thing where I was being a lot more guided and helped on like, oh, I don't like this about myself. Thank you like for showing this to me. And sometimes no, I don't want to see this part of me. Like it doesn't exist. Like, like but it does. And so I've been doing all this hard work, but I felt like I had a lot more interactions with different people and places and things that would trigger, this reflection of myself. And then it's like I've been isolated lately, and so I don't get those triggers all the time. When I do, I'm appreciative because it just shows me what I need to work on. But I don't get those triggers as often. So what I realize is that I have a lot of internal work that I guess God feels like, it's not guess, God feels like, I'm more than capable of doing and finding and spotting things on my own. And so, one of the things that has come up was my relationship with family. Since I was a little girl, I always dreamed of having a big family. I literally was born into a big. I gotta cut that. All right, so my bad. My camera flipped, so I probably edit that part out. But I was always dreaming of a big family, and I was born into a big family on both sides of my family. My grandmother on my father's side had 12 kids. My grandmother on my mother's side had 14 kids. I had 90 something cousins before, my grandfather died. It's deep. And then because my grandmother had passed before my grandfather. My grandfather died in I think it was his 90s. And I think by that time, I was probably preteen age before my grandfather died. And my grandmother, she also passed in her 90s, but I was grown. So I was grown by then. And that was my grandmother on my father's side. So I had some shitter cousins. But there was never any I did not grow up with family. It was if someone decided to have a family event, a wedding, usually weddings and funerals, pretty much. Usually wedding and funerals was when I got to see family. But it wasn't this big thing on holidays because grandma was dead. So it wasn't this big thing where I would go to my grandma's house and see all my cousins and all that stuff. It was more of someone died, someone got married, or my aunt who passed, she would used to have family events. And sometimes we could go. But then also on my dad's side, it was my dad wasn't a active father. So I got to see his family whenever he decided he wanted to be a father. And so I would sometimes, it was very it was never consistent. Nothing was ever consistent for his family. And so literally what I literally grew up with was broken families. Not only did I grow up in a broken family in my immediate household, it was very broken up, with the extended family. So I never really felt like I had family. My siblings that were older than me, none of them were very nurturing or big brother, big sister. My sister, which I've been clear on, she accused my mother husband of sexually abusing her. My mother did not. I don't feel like my mother responded to that appropriately. Like, to this day, she still talks to that man. Even after other children and people have came out and said the same thing about him. Um, even after she's told me stories about how he sexually abused one of his own family members. Even after she told me a story about how he took it from her. But because, that whole thing about being married, you couldn't be raped if it was your husband. So, like, definitely, I look back on it. My sister was like painted out to be like, didn't know what was wrong with her, but I think my sister was getting sexually abused her time being there, because that wasn't her biological father. And even if it was, that doesn't mean anything. Biological fathers do shit all the time. But that definitely wasn't her biological father. So, but he did adopt her, and he was in her life since she was a baby. So, my sister kind of like was definitely, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She was destructive. She was destructive. Like, I watched her single-handedly try to take people down. I just did a video on Destiny Swapper. Like, I watched her single-handedly try to destroy people's lives. She ain't even want your life. She just wanted to destroy that shit. And so I don't even know what you call her. She was just destructive. But I look back on it now, and I can only imagine, all the effects that might have had on her not having the help she needed to get through that. So, she was never able to be, a big sister like most people are accustomed to having. Don't you come in here. I told y'all I don't fucking play about these bugs. I'm not gonna edit. I'm gonna just let y'all know that was too much for me. That was too much for me. So hopefully it don't come on this side. Whew. So, I never had like the big sister. She couldn't even be a mother. Like, she was a mother of 3, and the first child she had was, it was baby daddy. Like, they wasn't married. And then the last 2 kids she had, it was through marriage. Both men took care of the kids. She just couldn't get it together. She struggled with substance abuse, which I definitely think was her, self-medicating, trying to cope. And she also suffered from, I feel like, a lot of, mental health, or you could say spirit attachments. Very, 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 like, demonic in nature. Oh my gosh, look at all these birds. I'm sorry, y'all. I get distracted. I get really distracted when nature. It's so beautiful. So, she definitely, like, if you feel like I watch my sister be like a full-fledged demon, like, on demon time. If you talk about demon time, like, I've watched my sister be full-fledged demon. I've talked about in other videos, like, how, like, the kids, they had stuff for Christmas. I'm in 1st grade, and like, I'm writing in my journal because we wrote every day, and I'm just like, all I wanted for Christmas was for my nieces and nephews to have Christmas presents. And I think we probably like 3 or 4 years age separate, but like, that's where my heart was. And so, like, I think my teacher read it, and she was like really big in the church, and she got together with her church members, and they made sure my nieces and nephews had the most beautiful Christmas. Like, they had so many gifts given to them. Do you know, my sister came over to see the kids because she had lost custody of them by then. She came to see the kids, and she, like, literally, she wanted to go back with her husband. Like, she wanted him to take her back and, be the family. But she did that a lot. She would do that a lot, and she couldn't have her way. So what she did was take the presents And she started taking them. It was snow outside and everything. Like, I laugh at this shit back then, and I laugh now because I was like, how evil can you fucking be? And so she got mad and started taking their Christmas presents and throwing them outside on the hard. Like, the snow was not fluffy, so it was like icy. And so she was like throwing them on the ground, trying to like intentionally like break these toys. And what she ended up doing, because it was so icy outside, she ended up slipping and falling and busting her fucking head on the car. And she started crying and saying like, can y'all call the ambulance? My heart, because she had open heart surgery. And it's like, bitch, wasn't nothing wrong with your heart when it happened. So this is me witnessing all this stuff as a child. Like, I'm telling y'all, I got stories for days. Like, I have shared stories with y'all that was like really super traumatic. But I still have traumatic stories that, like, literally most people would be like, well, that's still traumatic, Latifah. But I'm just like, this is like normal because the other shit was just so bad. But like, yes, this happened. Like, literally sat there and like we just all sat there and stared at her and watched. Like, nobody called 911. We just stared at her and watched, and like it was kind of like watching a kid have a tantrum and then fake like something wrong. But there were so many moments of this throughout my childhood, of just this broken family. And so this is my oldest sister, by the way. So this is my oldest sister. Like, this is extreme age gap. I would like to say probably like a 20-ish age gap. Then my brother on my mom's side, he stayed in and out of jail. I do love him to death, but he ain't using me. He not using me. I'm sorry. Like, these niggas in my family, like, he done told my mama, like, shit, she said, I'm about to die. Like, what you gonna do when I die? Because he literally, makes his way from asking for help a lot. Like, a whole lot. And so she was like, what you gonna do when I pass away? And he was like, I'm gonna call my other brother and I'm gonna call TT. And she gonna tell me, and I'm like, I'm not taking care of no more man. I'm not doing it. Like, no, find somebody else to do it. I don't care if they're your children or not. Like, find somebody else to do it. I can't. Oh my gosh, butterfly. I know. You said that was right on, right on, right on. Find somebody else to do it, because it ain't gonna be us. So, I feel like nature interacting with me today. Even the little yellow jacket or bee, whatever that was, that tried to come in here. So yeah, let me get back on track and focus. But so he was in and out of jail a lot. I remember, like, my mom having rules, and I was like real young. I probably was like 3. Like, it's amazing what you can remember. But like, I just remember like not even being able to say his name, like, because we call him Junior. And but at that age, like, I couldn't even say Junior. I used to be like Dooney. And I remember like she had a curfew for him, but I wasn't aware like what curfew was and all that stuff. But she had told him he had to be back in the house, because both of them would come stay with us like on and off throughout my childhood. But it was more of, I saw my mom struggling with me and my brother, and then also trying to help them get back on their feet. So literally, he came to the house. It was late one night, and she wouldn't let him in. And so I just remember like being traumatized with that. Like, where's my brother gonna go? Like, I'm very young, and I'm just like, let him in, let Dooney in. Like, he was really sad, and I'm just, that empathic child. Like, just like, where's my brother gonna go? Like, you need to let Dooney in. And she wouldn't, though. So me and Dooney had to watch Dooney walk away. And Dooney has been in and out of the picture all my life. My brother never got to be a big brother to me. I don't even think he's gotten to be much of what he needs to himself. But he spent most of his life in and out of jail. When he's in jail, he know us. When he's out of jail, not so much. Still love him though. Like, I still love him. I'm just not gonna be used. Then it was my brother that's closer to me in age. He was the only child for like 7 years, so he treated me like shit. I'm not gonna charge it to him as an adult, but like as a child, he treated me like shit. He did not like me. He did not want me there, and he wasn't like super like he wasn't like abusive in that way. It was more like that sibling shit, like when your siblings don't like you. It was more like stuff like that, but it was no, this is my little sister, I'm gonna protect her, I'm the big brother. It wasn't that. It was more of a competition or stuff like that. Like it wasn't like the love that I feel like a big brother should give a sister who is a 7-year age difference. So did not have that family even in my immediate family. To me, I psychologically grew up that it was me, my mother, and my brother. That's what I psychologically saw it as. Even when my stepdad came in the picture, like he grew to be a part of it was, us. But however, I still saw it as my mom did all this grunt work. Like he was there and he helped out, but like I saw my mom as the head of household. Um and to be honest with you, I watched family members try to turn my mom down, like her character. I would always, hear little remarks about my mom, and I even look at her backstory and like, God, like that's why I had so much compassion and empathy for her, because she had no easy life either. And I literally watched my sister try to destroy my mom, and I guess, hey, my mom did not protect her or believe her, or I don't even think my mom could be the mom to the mom that she even showed up to be to me. I don't think she was capable of being that to my sister. She had my sister at 17 and she really didn't want my sister. Um for real, the only child that she did plan was my brother, who be in and out of jail. And she always made the remark that, like, the two kids that I didn't have within the marriage, or with that situation. And she kind of felt like with her husband it was more stability, whereas when she had us, we was on Section 8 and we lived the hood life and we were poor. So she felt like they had more stability, but we turned out better. I feel like all of us were damaged. 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 She never healed her trauma, and so she passed that shit on to us. So I just feel like I saw her run away from her family constantly. like constantly. Like she literally moved down to Richmond and her family like followed suit. Some of her family members followed suit. The reason she's where she's at now is for the same reason. It's just like sort of a sense of like, I can talk to y'all on the phone, but I don't have to worry about y'all bothering me because I'm all the way out here. For me, I don't give a fuck where I live at. You can't bother me. You do not have access to me. I'm not moving far away. If I want to live in a certain place in an area, you just still won't have access to me. And that's just how that's going to be. But saying all of that, because I had this brokenness in family, I always knew family could hurt the fuck out of you. Family could hurt you more than strangers could. And family did hurt me more than strangers ever could. I grew up feeling like whatever my mom couldn't do for me financially, and I couldn't do for myself, it just wouldn't get done. And I had to, I would have to improvise and make things work with what I had. So I've always had this like get it out the mud mentality. I've always had this lone wolf kind of thing. But what I did do is realize like you can create your own family too. However, I still was cautious with that, like friends and family. Like I have very few friends that I consider family. There's very few. And even still, we are not up each other's butts every day or nothing like that. These are lasting connections that thank God I have, and thank God, like, these relationships are what they are right now. Like, it was what I needed. So my friends kind of ended up being, what I'm trying to say is, like, my friends kind of ended up being like my chosen family. And what I would do to escape the harsh realities of my own family. My niece ended up turning out to be like her mom. And so, like, even though you think like me and her would be close, like, I think by the time I turned probably like 15, 16, like, there was a big gap in development of, like, we're not on the same page. We're not on the same page. And even still, I would try to be there for her, but, like, we get fucked over. So just constantly getting fucked over by family made me not resent family, but it made me want to have, like, build this family of my own. And also, my relationship around family was damaged. That's what I'll say. My relationship around, like, blood family was damaged. Always had, like, one eye, heavily focused when dealing with blood family. It's just, I can't trust. And I do have some good blood family members, like, of course. But I do feel like there's healing that needs to be done around family. Like, I am so used to being on my own. I'm so used to solving problems on my own. I'm so used to, I don't know how to outsource shit. That's what I can say. I don't know how to outsource shit. I don't know how to work with community. When I'm in community situations, I'm the giver. And I don't always, I'm working on this. I've been transparent. I'm working on learning how to receive. It has been bare level, like, literally bare level of receiving love from outside, receiving love from inside, receiving, donations, receiving monetary donations, receiving, like, literally receiving help. In so many fucking ways, like advice, guidance, receiving, being able to hear someone who loves me tell me things, and being able to hear it without feeling attacked, being able to hear the love come through, because love was used as manipulation a lot in my life. No one talks about when people go through the severe trauma with their family, the damage and effects it have. Like, you really, really want love so bad, but love could be right there in your fucking face, and it's just like, it's hard for you to see it and accept it as love, because what you have been wired to think was love was not. It was not. And so, just being in that mode of receiving, and not receiving with the attachments of fear, not receiving, and feeling like I have to, like, immediately do something in return, because that's a big sign that you have come up in an environment that was, I would just say, at bare minimum, manipulative. Like, you don't always have to give to receive, and you don't always have to receive to give. Yes, reciprocity is within healthy love, but it's not transactional, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have to do this to get this. It's literally a flow. It's a flow. I receive, I give. I give, I receive. But it's not in this controlling way of, oh, you did for me. You gave me $20. So, I'm going to go back and give you $20 automatically. Even if you said, like, this is not a loan. I'm giving it to you. It just literally means you gave me $20. Next year, your car broke down. You needed a ride for me to come pick you up. I got you. It doesn't have to be like right back. It's a flow state. It flows in and out. It's a cycle. And so I'm learning that. I'm learning that is how healthy love look. I was always felt I had to do. I had to do to receive it. It was never just the existence of, being. It was, I think that's why my self-worth is in doing. My self-worth was valued in doing. How can I show up? How productive can I be? How outstanding can I be? It is weird because life was just never rewarding me based off of those things alone. It's not to say that I didn't have a good, it's not to say that I didn't have rewards, but it did not show up in what I needed because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it because I felt like this is what I have to do. It was an obligation. It wasn't because I loved doing it. No, when it came to people, I did have a love, a undying, and it's that people pleasing shit. Like, I definitely had an undying, love for people, for humanity, and helping people because I struggled. I know what it is to struggle, so why wouldn't I want to help someone else? No one ever came to save me, so why wouldn't I save someone else? However, people take advantage of that. I think it's human nature to take advantage of that. We have to remember that we're in this flesh and it is human nature to take advantage of those things. And so if you're not grounded and if you're not, doing the good work to keep yourself balanced and in alignment, people will, on average, take advantage of that. So I don't know. I'm just learning that there's a lot of healing that's happening around the concept of family for me because I've been a lone wolf. The pack has been light. Come on. I don't know why she let you outside. Come on. You scratched me. Nope. Come on over there. Nah, cause that was wild. You gonna rip my piercing out. Nope, sit down. Stop the crying. Sit it all down. Thank you. Good girl. No whining if you're gonna be in the car. No whining if you're gonna be in here. Come on, sit down. Sit down. Yeah, there you go. All right, so yeah, family. Working on a lot of different aspects of that. Was not used to a full working unit of people. I do think that majority of my family will be soul family. It's not think, I know. Majority of my family will be soul family. It will be family that God sends to me. That doesn't mean that none of my blood family will be in the picture. It just means that majority of my family will be chosen family who have shown me love and respect and loyalty, patience, guidance, and that's how that would be. And I'm talking about genuine people, God sent people. But I do have to learn and work on that, because I lived at the extreme of like, and I did have family members, like the immediate family was the part that I was still allowing to hurt me. But like extended family, I wasn't gonna even let you get close. I wasn't gonna even let you get close. You won't gonna get too close. And but that immediate shit, I learned to cut ties with that. But I don't want to be so extreme to like where I don't want to have or deal with family or community at all. Because that's all community means to me, is family as well. It's just not always your blood family. So, excuse me, ma'am. You're going to have to get out, or either you're going to have to be quiet. Okay? So sit down. Sit. Thank you. And you still going to cry. Come on. Hold on one second. All right. So, yeah, I'm healing wounds around family. It's interesting, like, you know, the more I heal myself, the more I'm able to look at all these other aspects that need healing and love and care and compassion around those areas, knowing that, you know, I cannot allow my past to block me from my future. So those was those people. And I know God has been putting people on my path that are decent and guiding me on where do these people go. Right now, my circle is me and my child. And I do have people in a close circle, but at the same time, right now, my circle is me and my kid and God and the spirit squad. But far as like physically, yeah, it'll manifest in the physical when it's time, but it's just me and the kid. Hold on. But yeah, saying all of that, it'll be really nice to see the day where I have family, I have support, I don't have to do everything on my own. Excuse me. I allow help. I don't value myself completely off what only I can do for others. And that's happening now. It's happening now. It's not something that I just simply have to look forward to. It's already beginning. It's already begun. And so I'm proud of myself, and I will continue to heal the parts of me and my relationships around family, my relationships around trusting family, trusting community, my relationships around associating my worth with giving, associating receiving as a weakness. Just associating that. I think that definitely came from family, talking about family who need it, community talking about the person who needs. Like a lot of that I hold in that I need help or I need this out of fear of someone talking about me. But now I don't even care about judgment anymore. Be careful who you talk about. You can end up in their situation. So be careful how you judge anyone. You can end up in their situation. A lot of times we'll say what we would and would not do in these situations and these trials and tribulations that we have. And, you know, like, you really can't. You don't know what you'll do until you're in that situation. Okay? Now, if you've been in that situation, you could say what your boundaries and your limitations was, but don't. My mom always told me never say never. I'm in this video because I'm just going to end this video and I'm going to the next one.